There was not a white label product or any sort of service or platform that existed prior to the development of our SaaS platform. So we saw this as an opportunity to create a new niche within our respective market space. After having, this brief epiphany and identifying that there was white space, it really just started with the internal kind of mechanism, developing and identifying a framework, and then identifying a third-party partner like NOA who could really help us build a tangible product with some firepower and some staying power. The NOA guys came to us at the right time through another colleague and a referral, and it was just the right fit. My name is James Guerra. I am the founder, CEO of JG Consulting. We support school systems nationwide in a variety of different capacities. Those include executive services, placing C-level personnel and leadership in school systems across the U.S. We offer professional development services to develop leadership and their skill set, their capacity, and to be effective in their current roles. We offer strategic planning services for our school system partners. And then last but not least, we are now providing an additional service, which is a SaaS platform that the NOA team has helped us develop. And so that is to help vet, screen, and identify whether there are shortcomings in the academic outcomes of these school systems. And if there's high-performing outcomes, how can we certainly replicate those outcomes for our low-performing school systems? So the market opportunity that presented itself, let's just say 5-6 years ago, this particular school board partner retained our services to recruit a new superintendent of schools. And as we were presenting data relevant to the academic outcomes of the candidates who applied for this position, we began to learn that the school board members who we were presenting to didn't quite understand all the disparate data sets that are available to us publicly. On average, we recruit 30 to 50 candidates per job. And in this particular case, I want to say there was roughly 30 who applied. And the data sets were representative of different states, not just our local state of Texas. And so that's a lot of information to unpack. And to do it in a truncated time frame where we might have 4 hours or 6 hours to work with our school board partners, that's a lot of information. The opportunity that we saw in front of us was to create this scorecard that makes sense of all of this meaningful data, but giving the school boards an opportunity to review this information without having to dig through and sift through all these different data sets. So partnering with NOA in developing this SaaS platform has really helped us to create a unique method of offering in a simplistic form data sets that are disaggregated from all these different and disparate accountability reports, overarching platforms that provide data, and really helping to crystallize that information in a very legible format. There was not a white label product or any sort of service or platform that existed prior to the development of our SaaS platform. So we saw this as an opportunity to create a new niche within our respective market space. And ideally, long-term, short-term, or both, school boards, school districts, third-party search firms, other groups that offer this type of service as far as executive search services are concerned, eventually they'll be able to license and or subscribe to our platform. And school districts could independently, if they wanted to, begin to license and subscribe to our platform as well. So after having, this brief epiphany and identifying that there was white space, it really just started with the internal kind of mechanism, developing and identifying a framework, and then identifying a third-party partner like NOA who could really help us build a tangible product that with some firepower and some staying power. It has morphed into different things as we have new ideas And that's what has been really great about the Innovate team. They've identified where there might be some other areas where we can support school systems, because they've been really active in helping us develop from the ground up. The Innovate guys came to us at the right time through another colleague and a referral, and it was just the right fit. You know, we have good collaboration, weekly touch points, ongoing meetings with regular check-ins, and whether I'm present or not, my team is comfortable working with the Innovate team members, and so we have a good cadence, and I'm grateful for their help, because they're best in class and have been really tremendous as a partner. They helped us in the early start of our partnership, identifying where there was gaps and inefficiencies, and then they made recommendations to help for improvement. Because without getting too technical, we had shortcomings with our previous partner where we needed to improve. And so we relied heavily on the recommendations of the Innovate to identify certain assets and other features and functionality to make sure that all systems were integrated and working as if they were a well-oiled machine. We're in our 4th scope of work with them, and now we're getting to the point where it's fully automated. It's going to be totally AI at some point, and that's the long-term goal. And we're going to create different layers of product within the main product itself. And our product, the output of what we are offering and providing the school boards, is really only as good as the data that we're getting. And so there are gaps in some of the scorecards and in the reports that we're providing, because there is incomplete data that we are accessing. Craig, on Jeff's team with Innovate, identified a data set that has been rather robust and really helpful. And frankly, without him identifying that data set, we would probably be a year behind schedule right now. So he pulled a rabbit out of the hat and then certainly found something that is more accurate, more effective, and is eliminating some of the gaps. My experience has been really good, and I would recommend them to any group who is needing to build something from scratch or expand upon something that they started with a different group, such as what we've done with Innovate. I've been very pleased, so much so that if this product becomes a hot market item and we have potential for a buyout, acquisition, or merger, I'd be willing to offer them equity or some sort of stock options just to demonstrate my happiness and in return for their efforts, because they have been doing a fantastic job, and I value the product that they're developing, and I know it's a monumental task from my perspective.